It is hot. Hey everybody, it's Joe with J Blake Photo. So I've been working on some videos. I've got some stuff to post here in just a little bit, but I wanted to make a change to my lighting situation here in my office, which is where I film most of my videos. Got all the multicolored lights back here, but normally I actually I light myself with these LED panels that I have. They're really inexpensive. I'll put a link down below. They're on Amazon for like 35 bucks. But just recently I got this big old octabox that you can see here. And I've been trying to use that a little bit just to soften the light a little bit. I've got some soft boxes too, but I'm giving this thing a try. It was cheap, got it on Amazon for, again, like 35 bucks. But let me just kind of show you inside here, okay? Open this thing up, just how I've got this thing rigged. So as you can see, not a super technical situation happening here. I've got these two LED panels here, and one of them is just kind of strapped on with a Joby pod, and then I've got just two power bricks in here. So they don't put off a ton of light, but it's been okay. They're actually pretty soft. They've got kind of a soft thing attached to them. So it's not a super harsh light, so it's not too bad. But it's not a lot of light, and I really want to be able to run this camera at the lowest ISO possible, and sometimes I find myself having to crank it just a little bit when I film at night. I normally try and get light through these windows here. As you can see, I've got windows, but like right now, it's nighttime, so I'm not going to get a lot of light, and I don't have a lot of opportunities to film during the day because I'm working, and Saturdays, like today's a Saturday, I'm normally out doing stuff with my wife, or just having fun stuff or filming outside the house. So I wanted to replace these, so I decided to go over to Home Depot, and I grabbed this Husky light stand and this just super cheap LED. That doesn't sound good. This cheap LED that I'm gonna mount inside here and just kind of see how it goes. We'll see. It's worth a shot. It was inexpensive. It's like 4,000 Kelvin light, and it's 3,500 lumens. So really, I just want it to be bright. That's really the only thing I care about. The other lights in here that I have are all adjustable, so I can have them match the color if I need to. So let's hook this thing up and see what it looks like. So before we do a change out on the light, I thought that it would be helpful to do kind of a before and after. So right now the LED panels are in here, and this is pointed at me from just above and off camera. This octabox is actually a little bit bigger than it needs to be for this room, and currently I am working at 640 ISO. So I want to be at 100 ISO. So if I go down to 100 here, so this is 100 ISO. I'm not going to adjust for this. I'm actually not even going to color correct this shot. So this is what's right out of the camera. And this is really dark. You can see the lights behind me, but you can't see this whole side of my face. Everything's really dark back there. This is not good. And yeah, so even if I were to bump it to like, so this is 320. 320 ISO, this is probably doable. And it's not that there's a lot of noise at 320 or 640 or 400 or anything like that. It's just 100 is better. If I can get it down to 100, that's going to be better. So, so now let's go ahead and switch that out. Set the office lights to white.
Understood. Request sent.
That's a little better. Now I've got this extra stand because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to mount this light on the light stand that I have now. So I'm gonna see if there's a way that I can rig this onto my existing stand. And if not, then I'll use the stand I bought. So this really is just your like regular LED work light. This is nothing special. Home Depot. So there might be a way to rig that, but I'm gonna pull out the stand that I bought and see if I can't make that work a little better. It's a little rigged here. We'll kind of see how the light looks, but I'm gonna put this in front of it so I don't blind myself, and then we'll turn it on and see how it looks. Okay, so now I won't really know how this is gonna look. Whew, that's bright. I won't really know how this is gonna look until I have a chance to look at the footage. It's being diffused, but I almost, because it's so bright, I almost want to turn it around. Let me see where I am. So right now it's got me at ISO 160. By the way, I'm shooting at 1/50th for 24 frames per second with an aperture of 2.8. So ISO 160 isn't bad. Now, my camera has a tendency to expose a little high, so I'm actually going to turn this down just all the way to 100. And that actually looks pretty good, but it is very bright in my eyes. So I might make an adjustment here. We might make a change, and I might cut it down just a little bit, both to cut the light, but also to diffuse it just a little bit better. So let me try that. So now I've adjusted the light just a little bit so that it's a little bit softer, and right now this is what ISO 100 looks like, and it's a bit dark. Let me up it to 200, and then we'll go ahead and compare that to 100 on the other setting. So I think having it faced forward directly on me as opposed to bouncing off the rear is the better way to go. So I'm gonna put that back. So now I've got the light kind of directly on me. It's being diffused, but it's right on me. Now the problem I'm running into is that my camera, it wants to resolve the exposure to be much brighter than it needs to be. So right now, I'm gonna bring this down. Okay, so this is ISO 100 at 1/50th at 2.8. So I'm gonna take a closer look at this footage. Now I've moved the light around a little bit, and I wanna kinda see how this is gonna look. So I'm gonna take a look at this on the big screen and see what the quality is. Okay, and I've now had an opportunity to review some of the footage, kind of look at what you've seen, and looking at that first setup with the light directly in my face, and then switching it around, and then switching it back. Even though it is really bright, a couple of tweaks have made it better here in the office, but it is definitely looking good, and I'm happy both with the color quality, the brightness, the fact that I can now achieve the settings that I was hoping for, which is to be able to shoot at f2.8 with a 1/50th of a second shutter speed and keeping it down to ISO 100, which is where I am right now. Applying color correction and some sharpening and a little bit of vibrancy, and I'm tweaking the curves just a little bit just to make it nice and clear and give it a good look. I came in just over $100 if you count the Octabox, which I purchased on Amazon for I think about 34 bucks. The light was about 50, the stand was about 20, and that's it really. I've got a power strip in there, and that's really the only other thing that I've spent any money on. So overall, just over 100 bucks, not too bad. Did it all in an afternoon and was able to record it for you. So remember, if you're recording YouTube videos or really any kind of a video production, the more light you have, the better. So you're probably going to start with sunlight going through a window. And if you don't have window, light available to you, either because, like me, you're shooting mostly in the evening, or because maybe you just don't have a room with a light that you can shoot in, you can always go outside. But, if you're looking to create something about 100 bucks, you can actually create a really good light that will be nice and soft. And so I'm, really excited to see what kind of creations you guys come up with. So go ahead and, link to anything, any videos that you've done, or any new lighting setups that you've got, or any great deals that you've seen out there. I've created some crazy things. Once I took a cardboard box and lined it with metallic tape, and then put a light bulb in it, and that was a light, and I covered it with like a cheesecloth. and that was a softbox for some portraits that I did, and so that was fun. So if there's anything cool or cool tricks that you've got up your sleeve, go ahead and throw it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching this little video about my light project. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. And the next one will be lit better.